everyone, Dr. Andrew Rothschild here, physical therapist with Virginia Center for Spine and Sports Therapy. And there we have Ms. Brandy Price, our front desk head honcho, she likes to be called. This is what she told me. So we talked about, on our Facebook Live videos, about talking about some insurance stuff. And sometimes people need clarifications about co-pays, co-insurances, deductibles, and these things can be very confusing. And they are confusing on purpose, because the more confusing something is, the easier it is for the people in charge to manipulate the situation. And by the people in charge, of course, I mean the health insurance companies. And what is not fair, especially the past 5 years, is that a lot of the cost has been shifted from the health insurance companies onto you, the consumer. So you are seeing deductibles go up, co-pays go up, co-insurances go up, and they are actually paying and reimbursing less and less. And a lot of times that can be frustrating when you come to the front desk, because a lot of this information, again, is very complicated. But hopefully, Brandy's going to shed some light on some things that help clear some of that stuff up. So I'm going to turn this over now to Brandy.
Hey everybody. I'm going to try to answer a few of the most common questions that we hear about insurance. So one of them being, is physical therapy covered? And the answer is yes. In most instances, it is covered. It's very rare that it's not. But you want to keep in mind that each medical service has its own benefit. So the cost for physical therapy might be different than, say, your primary care doctor or your dermatologist or your orthopedist. And then physical therapy is into two categories, inpatient and outpatient. Inpatient would be like a hospital setting or the home. We here at VCSST are an outpatient office visit. So any clinic that bills as an outpatient office visit, your benefit, your coverage would be the same. Now your charges are going to vary because that's going to depend on the treatment that you receive each day. So it's not billed as a flat rate. And then we want to get into the difference between a copay, a deductible, and a coinsurance, because that's going to determine what you would owe when you come in. For each of the topics, I'm going to use the same numbers in my example so that you can see the difference of a copay, deductible, and coinsurance can make on your payment. So we're going to be talking about billed charges at $250. And again, that can change each time you come in, but we're just going to use that as an example. We're going to have our allowed amount, which is what the insurance company allows, as set at $70. And then our provider write-off, which would be our write-off, the patient is not responsible, and that's the difference between the billed charges and allowed amount, is $180.
So to clarify, for example, if a patient gets like on the EOB, they'll see the $250. Is that correct?
Yes.
But then what they have actually paid, or what has been paid for by insurance for the total, will be like $70.
Yes.
Awesome.
So first we're going to talk about a copay. A copay is a fixed amount. It's a contractual obligation with your insurance company, and it's due at time of service. So we're going to say that our patient has a $20 copay. A copay, though, is not dependent on billed charges or an allowed amount. It's a flat rate, and you're going to have that every time you come in. So each time you come in, it's going to be $20. In our instance, you're going to pay $20 at this date of service, and the insurance company is going to pay us $50. Next, we have a deductible. And a deductible is a specified amount that you have to meet before your insurance company is going to pay on your claim. But the good news is that most of your medical services are going to accumulate towards that. So you may have met some of that before you even get to us. But in this case, we're going to say you have a $1,500 deductible, and none of that has been met. So if our allowed amount is $70 and you haven't met any of your deductible, that is going to be your portion that you are going to owe. And we are going to get paid $0 from the insurance company. Once you meet your deductible, then insurance is going to start kicking in their portion.
And can I interrupt for a second? And so, for example, you could have a deductible of $1,500, but then after you meet the deductible, could they have a copay, or do they have a coinsurance, or what?
They're more than likely going to have a coinsurance. Some policies, it stops at the deductible, and once you meet the deductible, then they kind of pick up 100%, and others will kick into a coinsurance, which is our next topic. So a coinsurance is not a fixed amount. It is a percentage of the allowed amount. So it may or may not include a deductible to be met first. In our example, I'm going to go with no deductible to keep it simple. So we're going to say that our patient has a 20% coinsurance. And since the coinsurance is of the allowed amount, your 20% of 70 is going to give you a $14 payment for that date of service. And insurance is going to pay us the $56 that remains of the allowed amount. So here at VCSST, we like to help patients, especially who have a deductible and a coinsurance, avoid getting a large bill at the end. So we try to help them collect like a little bit each time they come in, and we base that on their insurance company's specific allowed amount, just so that they don't have that large bill. Unfortunately, the copay, we can't do anything about that. That is due each time you come in. So I hope that answers some questions, and feel free to call us or email us if you have any questions. We're happy to help.
Cool. So thank you very much, guys. I hope that was, oh, there I am. Thank you, Brandy. I hope that was very helpful. Some of the stuff can be confusing, and just a reminder that these numbers that Brandy talked about is just an example. Your numbers will vary based on your individual plan. But again, if you need any help with clarification, Brandy is here. We also have Sandy in the back office, which helps with a lot of that stuff. We know that some of the stuff can be confusing, and we'd like to make it as streamlined as possible for you guys so it's not as much of a barrier when coming to physical therapy. All right, thanks so much.
Have a great day.
Bye.